Hello, here's a video of me reading a blog post that I wrote a long time ago. I think this is pretty funny, but I just think it deserves to be read aloud, so here we are. If it looks like I'm reading off of something, that's because I am. My PRK experience. I recently got PRK surgery done on my left eye. Yep, just the left. While prepping for it, I read approximately 1 million My PRK Experience blog posts, and I wanted to write my own for a couple of reasons. I haven't read any blog posts about getting just one eye done. I thought it would be funny. This seems better than me telling people I had laser eye surgery done and them going, like, LASIK? And me going, yeah, I got laser eyes. And them being confused and me just being like, part one, why? I hate glasses, I hate the way I look at them, I hate the way they press against the bridge of my nose, I hate how disgustingly dirty they get without me even noticing, I hate how many germs probably just hang out on them having a goddamn party an inch away from my eyeballs. This is why I typically wore contacts. Well, contact, since only one of my eyes needs a corrective lens. I diligently wore monthly contacts in my left eye for years. And I was careful with them because I've read those freaky articles about flesh-eating amoebas devouring people's corneas because they left their contacts in too long, and I have anxiety issues, as you can tell from the previous sentence. I never slept in them, I kept them clean, and you know what? They were still a massive pain in the ass. The tipping point? 3 times in 2 weeks, my contact fell out of my eye because my eye was so dry. Do you know how much monthly contacts cost? A 6-pack of monthly contacts is like $60. So I was literally crying out 30 hard-earned dollars. Enough was enough. This is what compelled me to get excruciatingly painful elective surgery. Part 2. The consultation. I went in for a LASIK consultation during my lunch break from work. This was a terrible idea as the consultation takes 2 hours. You should probably plan around this so you don't return to your workplace an hour late, half blind, with suspiciously massive pupils, which is what I did. Oops. They do a standard vision test. You read some letters, you look at that one picture of a house in a field. They also shine some red and green lasers in your eye, which is kind of like a fun EDM dance break, but with no music. They also put drops in your eyes that dilate your pupils and numbing drops so they can poke around a bit. I have naturally huge pupils, so I've never had to use dilating drops during an eye exam before this, and boy, oh boy, does your vision get fucking wonky. Having your eyes numb also feels whack. It's like suddenly you have drunk vision. Again, you should probably plan around this. When I went back to work afterwards, I looked like I'd just gone on a massive bender. I kept repeating, I was getting my vision tested to all my colleagues so they wouldn't think I just was high on cocaine or something. Once the tests were concluded, I was told I was not a good candidate for LASIK because my corneas are too soft. My corneas are just little soft boys who like to write poetry and paint. No LASIK for me. My hopes to never wear my stupid glasses or contacts again were almost dashed. Luckily, there was another option. PRK. I had honestly never heard of PRK before this, but given that I know exactly fuck all about eyes, I believed the nice eye doctor man when he told me no LASIK. I will link below to an actually helpful explanation of the differences between LASIK and PRK, but here is my very unscientific understanding. PRK is what you get when they tell you you can't get LASIK. It consists of 1. Shaving some of your eyeball off. 2. Shooting it with lasers to reshape the surface of your eye. 3. Healing, aka excruciating pain time. 4. Question mark? 5. Congratulations, you can see! It's a goddamn miracle. The beauty of modern medicine. I was warned that it hurts like a bitch and that I would need 5 days of recovery time, but that I was pretty much the ideal candidate since I only needed it done in one eye. The guy doing my consult was refreshingly straight up about this. There was a long weekend coming up that I could take advantage of, so I'd only actually need to book 1 day off of work, and I was like, as a wise prophet named Drake once said, you only YOLO one time. I walked out of the LASIK office with a quote, $1,640, oof, a tentative surgery date booking, and a plan to throw myself down a Google research hole, after which I would decide if I wanted to cancel. I proceeded to read approximately 17.38 My PRK Experience posts, and committed to eventually writing my own, much less helpful version. Here it is. Behold. 3. The surgery. The day of the surgery, I was completely calm, believe it or not. I have generalized anxiety disorder, and I genuinely wasn't the least bit nervous. Things that give me panic attacks. Getting left on red. Things that I'm apparently totally chill about. Shaving off part of my cornea with a laser. They offer you Ativan at the clinic if you're feeling super stressed, but I didn't need it. I was trying not to think too hard about it. One really helpful thing that I noted from reading all of those blog posts was that this is the kind of thing that people psych themselves out of doing for decades. Yes, you have to do your research and learn enough about the surgery that you feel prepared to do it, but don't think so hard about it that you scare yourself out of it. Or do. I'm not the boss of you. Some other helpful preparatory facts I gleaned from my research. My cornea was getting shaved down by a laser. It will really fucking hurt. Although most people said day 1 wasn't so bad, but day 3 was the worst. I absolutely cannot wear makeup, and if there's any trace of it, they will send me home. I need to be comfortably dressed, but not in anything freshly laundered because the static might mess with the lasers? Horrifying. The cornea is made up of the same material as hair, so when the procedure is being done, I will smell burnt hair. I think if I hadn't known this stuff in advance, I would have absolutely lost my gourd. Okay, so the actual surgery. They usher you into a dimly lit room, soups romantic, where they give you covers for your shoes and hair, and if you're doing PRK instead of LASIK, a preemptive Tylenol. In retrospect, that's very foreboding. You sit there for a while as you wait your turn. This is both comforting because, hey, all these other people are going in and out of that room and none of them went blind, and terrifying because, oh my god, I am in an assembly line of people paying thousands of dollars for the use of their own site. Late stage capitalism is a gong show. I am also not personally very good at sitting still and patiently waiting for things, so having time to just sit there and think meant I finally got anxious. Eventually, it's my turn. I'm brought into the operating room, where everyone is very nice and calming. They ask me if I have any last minute questions, and I don't because I'm just like, hey, Lamal, let's get this over with. They hand me 2 stress balls, which are shaped like eyeballs. This is very on brand, but does not make me feel calm. Tell me what is calming about these motherfuckers. I'll wait. I'm laughing just remembering the fucking stress balls. They indeed stressed me out. So, okay, they put numbing drops in your eyes and crank those puppies open with prongs. This made me feel like we were going full Ludovico technique, but I also didn't want to find out what would happen to my eyelids if I blinked while I was being zapped with lasers. The actual surgery commences. Your entire field of vision is clouded by red and green lasers. EDM Dance Show Part 2. It smells like burnt hair. This is the most anxious I got during the entire process. I mean, I'm lying down on an operating table, surrounded by a bunch of people I do not know. My eyes are being held open by metal fucking prongs. I can't see anything other than lasers, and I am white knuckling 2 sponge eyeballs with the grip strength of industrial Velcro. It's like very chill. All day, I've been calm because I was not thinking about it. Now, I am thinking about it. Have I made a terrible decision? Have I really thought enough about this? My vision shifts as the lasers do. It is perfect for a split second, then bleary, confused. Have I considered the consequences of my actions enough? They are literally burning part of my cornea off with a laser and dusting off the debris with a contraption that's basically an eyeball-safe toothbrush. I can't go back now, but what if it doesn't work? What if I die? Oh my god, my final tweet would be so embarrassing. Good lord, that burnt hair smell is horrible. Then, within minutes, the surgery is over. And I'm like, oh, that actually wasn't so bad. And I am overly dramatic. There's no immediate shift in my vision when I first sit up from the table and am handed a cup of water and a pill. This is Dilaudid. It's a painkiller, the nurse tells me. Dilaudid, for those not in the know, is hydrocodone, aka a big boy opioid. A be careful with that shit type of drug. I'm not in pain yet, but I take it dutifully. It serves me well when I am escorted back to the dimly lit waiting room to sit down for 15 minutes so that both my left eye and my entire central nervous system can calm down. They gave me some truly chic black sunglasses to wear. You need extra strength ones because regular sunglasses won't protect you enough from the sun's UV rays post-PRK. They then plop me into a comfy chair with a blanket. The painkiller kicked in pretty fast. Picture this. I'm sorry, I'm just remembering all this. Picture this. Me wearing black wraparound sunglasses a la Cyclops, stoned off my ass on hydrocodone, busting out the LASIK MD office, fresh off of surgery like, yo, holy shit, I'm about to be able to see. They send me on my merry way with all of this shit. A couple different kinds of painkillers, some different drops, Zymar and Cysteine to be used 4 times a day, dilute alkane and tetracaine to be used as a last resort because it slows healing. Type 4. Recovery. On surgery day, I was at first just experiencing the mild discomfort you would expect when one of your eyes has been shaved down with a laser. You know when people say they're bawling their eyes out? Since I only needed my left eye dealt with, I was just bawling my one singular eye out. I tried to stay ahead of the pain, take a couple Tylenol, but I was fine. At bedtime, leaving my protective sunglasses on to protect my eye in case I moved around in my sleep, I took 2 Tylenol, 1 Dilaudid, and 1 Zopiclone, which is a sleeping pill that I take. It doesn't get prescribed for everyone who gets PRK. I just want to illustrate that I was heavily drugged and I woke up every single hour. Even through the fog of the painkillers and sleep medication, the pain I was in was so excruciating that I would rouse, feel it, and sob out into my empty house like a little baby. My fragile, exposed cornea became wood to my eyelids sandpaper. Each blink felt like a little more of a shred. I was moaning in pain each time I got out of bed and stumbled to the washroom, where the light felt like sharp knives as soon as I took my sunglasses off. I had to pry my eye open to be able to douse it in eye drops. It was swollen completely shut, bright red, and crusty with dried tears. I've always thought that I had a high pain tolerance. A lifetime of clumsiness has strengthened me. I've endured several migraines that made me puke. I have a giant skull tattooed on my rib cage, okay? I'm tough, but this made me question myself. And all the blog posts I'd read about PRK said day 1 wasn't so bad, but the pain on day 3 was the worst. So I was wondering, will I be in even more pain later than I am now? Will I perish? But mostly I was wondering, am I a fucking pussy? I pulled up to my 24-hour post-operative follow-up appointment looking absolutely fresh, well-rested, and generally regular. The woman doing the follow-up straight up had to stifle a laugh when I took my protective glasses off. I need to stop laughing at my own jokes. This is all a true story. I told her it was okay to laugh at me. I understood. When she examined the surface of my eye with a light, she looked confused. I tried not to panic. Is something wrong? I squeaked. No, no, she said, shining the light at a different angle. Huh. A beat. You've healed really well. I've just never seen someone who healed this much in 24 hours. Did you use the numbing drops? Numbing drops? I ask. I was given so many drops I could hardly remember which was which. These ones, she says, grabbing tetracaine from her desk. I shake my head. I was told those were a last resort, that they slow healing. She looked absolutely baffled. Well, that's why you healed so fast. Here, use some now. She put them in my eyes, and holy shit, the relief! Suddenly, I am strangely proud of myself. I'm not a pussy. In fact, I'm kind of a badass because I accidentally endured the full pain of my surgery recovery without any numbing drops. This also means I'm kind of an idiot, but like whatever. The next few days of recovery went fine. It did not get any worse than the first night. Yes, my eye hurt. Yes, it continued to feel like sandpaper, but I just got some medical tape, taped that bitch up, and continued living my life. Admittedly, without proper sight, the life I was living was incredibly boring. I could use my one good eye, but making it do all the work meant straining it and giving myself a fat headache. I also couldn't go out and do anything because I was super light sensitive and like, I had tape over my eye. I looked insane. So I spent 5 days in my house, bored as hell, mildly stoned off painkillers, moving from my couch to my bed to my couch, listening to podcasts, sleeping 10 plus hours a day. Shit was lit. 5. Recovery continued. After 5 days of hanging out on my couch, I was feeling relaxed and rejuvenated, ready to return to work. You're not allowed to go back to work that early if you work with a lot of dust, e.g. in construction, which kind of freaked me out, but I have a desk job, so I was good to go. I was putting eye drops in my eyes every 15 minutes or so, just to be safe. Pre-surgery, the distance I had the most trouble seeing was about 1 to 2 feet from my face, so like pretty much where my camera is at, but anything closer or further I could deal with fine. Post-surgery, this was the distance that took the longest time to adjust. It was very discouraging going back to work and not being able to read anything on my computer screen without squinting. Everything looked a little wet somehow, slightly blurred, like a wet page of text. But sometimes I'd blink and for a second I'd be able to see so dang sharp, which gave me hope. It took about 2 weeks for this effect to subside, by which time my doctor had explained that it was totally normal and it happened because I was looking through the dry part of my eye. Wild. 6. Feelings. It's now been 6 weeks since the surgery. I realize I'm writing this up a little hastily and that my vision is going to stabilize more over the next couple of months, but I'm just so excited. I can see. Every time I go to bed, I have the nagging feeling that I've forgotten something. Sloan, my brain says, you need to take your contact out before you sleep. But guess what, bitch? I don't need to take my contact out. I don't need one anymore. Take that, brain. I truly can't explain how delightful this is. I already don't understand how I put up with my glasses and contacts for so long. I'm also proud of myself for making a brash decision that actually helped me for once in my life. So yes, I was in supreme physical anguish for 12 hours. But that seems like a fair price to pay for several decades of perfect vision. My eye is also pretty dry now, although it was dry when I wore contacts anyway, and the dryness is likely to go away over the next couple months. My vision hasn't 100% stabilized. I have to wear sunglasses every time I go outside for 6 months after the surgery to protect my eye from UV rays, which makes me look like a dork. Is all this worth it? Hell fucking yeah! So that's the conclusion of the essay. I got PRK done on August 31st and I wrote this post in October. It is February now. I still have zero fucking regrets about this whole thing. That is the worst pain I've ever been in my entire life. But it was only 12 hours, you know? And now, like, I can see. I still haven't gotten over the total delight of just, like, being able to fucking see. I have 15/20 vision, bitch. 15/20 vision, motherfucker!